Okay, welcome back. Now what I want to look at again is continue with level 3 NVQ diploma in installing electrotechnical systems and equipment. Now again we are continuing with unit 3 of 4, and that is your EAL reference number. Okay, and we're looking at session 4, overcurrent and earth fault protection. Okay, so let me just go down to that for you. Okay, that's what we're looking at. Okay. And here are our learning outcomes. Gain an understanding of the requirement for overcurrent and earth fault protection. Okay. Now protective equipment. Now the regulation 132.8 requires that the characteristic of protective equipment is determined with respect to their function, including protection against the effects of, amongst other things, overcurrent or fault current. Okay. So all I'm going to do now is just pan that in for you. Okay. And again, pan back to the left. Okay. And then pan back to the right so we can get it all in. Okay. And now let me just pan right back now so we can get to see what we're talking about. Okay. And here's your regulation 430.3 refers. Okay. And again, this is the IEE regs references, or IET I should say. Okay, whichever is applicable. Let me just make sure we get our heading in, and that's positioning of protective devices. Okay, I'll go back up now so that we can continue with that. Now what this means, it is important to consider where protective devices would be positioned. You can't just place a fuse anywhere and expect the right things to happen. Careful application of the right BS 7671 requirement is necessary. So all we're saying here is that we got our supply fuse A, cable reduces inside, so you can say that you may have 25mm cable coming in, or maybe larger size. Okay, heavy armored supply cable. Cable reduces in cross-sectional area because you're feeding a smaller unit system, but it still must be capable of handling the supply that you're trying to feed here. So the current coming through this must be able to, the cable size must be able to withstand the current being drawn by 1, 2, 3 phases. Okay? And similarly here as well. Okay, so again, you need to be aware that the cable size matters in regards to the current demand that you're going to be feeding. Now I think cable size how coming into our house is approximately 25 mil, isn't it? I believe it's 25 millimeters, I believe. Okay, but don't hold me to that, because I haven't checked it out lately. But that will be something for you to look up to make sure that you know the cable size coming into a house for 100 amps. Okay, we're just going to this, make sure we can get this in, and that you can see and draw out any diagrams you wish for yourselves. Okay. Now, here we have positioning of protective devices. So let me just go back up a little bit, okay? Make sure we can get it in view, everything in view. Okay. Now, cables in conduit in a firmly inserted letter wall show you bricks, etc. Cable in trunk and mounted on a wall, etc. It's just showing you how positioning of protective devices, whether it be conduit or trunking. Okay, let's just go in close to this. Okay, and here we're showing you simply the change of cable size from 6 millimeter square to 2.5. Okay, we're going from conduit into steel wired armored. Okay, and that will come into that will be brought into by a junction box of sorts. Okay. And here you have complete change of environment. Okay, so let's go down a little bit. Okay. Just stand back, make sure we get everything in. Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. And here you can see protection against overload. Okay, let me just move in again a little bit further so you can see that in full. Okay, and then I will pan in. Okay, I'm just going closer so we can make sure we can get it all in. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's good. Now remember to read and refer to the IE regulations. Sorry, IET regulations and IEE regulations, okay? My apologies for that. Okay, ratings of protected devices. So let me just go into that again and bring that in, that rating of protected devices. Okay, let's go up a little bit. Now I'm not going to read this to you. You can read this for yourselves. Okay. And what it is saying here is that high breaking capacity fuses, HRC, or high rupture capacity fuses. Okay. From 2 amps to 1200 amps. Okay. Let me just go back and pull back now a bit and pan out so we can get it all in. Okay. Okay. Just bring that into play. Okay. Now here you have and it's just showing you the type of information that you will find on your protective devices. Okay. Okay. I think I could have put some of these in color actually. I might do that next time around. Okay, so oh, I did. Okay. You know. Types of circuit breakers. Okay. And I'm just go back up a little bit. Okay. So you got type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 4. Okay. Type. Okay. You can see now that's been changed to 3 types. Okay, so let me just pan back a little bit. And we'll go into this so you can see what it is saying in regards to each type. Okay. And let me just pan out so you can see it all in frame. Okay, good. Now I don't need to read this out to you. You can read this for yourselves. And there's type B, type C, and type D. And it tells you the reference or way they can be used. Also, bear in mind the information down here at the bottom. Okay. Breaking capacity is a measure of the total current that a protective device can handle during a fault without blowing apart. Meaning to say that it can handle massive current without it exploding in a given manner. Only the section of that protective device will be fused. Okay. Let me just take that in. Now here we have discrimination. Discrimination is the designing of the system in such a way that only the minimum number of circuits are affected by the operation of a protective device. So you wouldn't want your ring main circuit to blow if your lighting circuit was fused. Nor would you want your lighting circuit to blow if your ring main circuit was fused. So each device, ring main circuit and lighting circuit, are on separate circuits, and they are protected by different type of devices. Okay. And that's what we're saying here. Okay. And it shows that section 536 requires that discrimination is applied where it is necessary. Okay. You can read the rest for yourselves. You don't need me to read that for you. Okay. I'm just going to those unit little boxes there so you can see them for yourself largely. Okay, let me put into that as well a bit wider. Okay. Now we'll go across. Okay. Okay. Just make sure that we got everything in. Okay, let's go to the bottom now. Just make sure that you have got that. Okay. Now I don't need to do a lot of talking on this, just to make sure that the information you can see for yourself and you can get the point across. And you need to refer to the relevant regulations. Okay. Multiple choice questions, and again I would like you to do these questions for me as well, please. Okay. To make sure we can get them all in. Okay. Okay. Just make sure we can get them all in. Okay. Okay. Now you may need to just go back a little bit if need be. Okay, quite unusual. I can't close that, can I? Can I open it up again? Okay, we can. Okay, right, that'll be it. Thank you. I hope you found this information useful. And again, just make sure that we've given you all the questions. Okay, there we are. Okay. And there we are. Make sure we can get into the last one. If we can get into those as well. Okay, thank you. I hope you found this useful and that continue with your studies. Believe me when I tell you that this opens doors that you haven't even yet recognized. Okay, all the best. Bye-bye.